twitch.tv/deepmindfulness. If you're watching this anywhere else, you are in the wrong place. So, welcome, folks. How do I sound now? A moment ago, we ended the stream because I sounded correctly, as you can see with this chat over here. How do I sound is what I'm curious about. Today we're going to rock ourselves to sleep. Not really to sleep. We're going to rock ourselves into still the same. Damn it. Well, Tomlin, you're the tech support, so what the heck am I supposed to do? It sounds perfect on my end. I'm listening directly from the recorder, and it sounds perfecto. Let me try to unplug the audio input and then replug it. One sec. Also going to turn off other programs that could potentially be using the audio. Oh, I have an idea what might be happening. Okay, maybe that could have fixed it, maybe. Still the same. Let me know if this has changed anything. It'd be a bummer if this is the case. Don't want that to be the case. Okay, so let me know. I'm not sure if you... is something recording in the background? I don't think so. I do not think so. I can just shut other programs off. I have no idea if they're doing anything, but just shut some things off. Thanks, guys, for bearing with me. You know, bearing with me is a talent that you folks have been so kind at exercising. I'm shutting Discord off for now. We're just going to shut it right off. Hopefully that's okay for our purposes. Okay, let's see what else is. Anything else running? That's not running. That is not running. That is running, which is we want it to run. Thank you. This is not running. This is also not running. Okay. Let me know if that fixed anything. Who knows? Yeah, let me know. Okay. How does that sound? Filter applied to the mic. No. Nope. Okay, let's see if I'm going to play music. And I'm just going to put on the intro. And we'll see if that plays music properly. So did that play music properly, or is that also bubblicious? Crackadackle. Guys, you're so patient. You're so kind. What a kind little group. Seems like a longer delay than usual on the stream. Folks, I can't even believe what a nice group you are for hanging out, watching this chaos. The music was normal. What does that mean? Music was normal, mic is not. Mic sounds perfect to me on this side, so it has to be happening after the recorder. Okay, I'm going to try unplugging and replugging something else. Okay, we've unplugged and replugged. If it's not too bad, I'm just going to continue. Unfortunately, this is the shape of things. Let me know how it sounds now. We just plugged our audio interface thing back in. Yeah, you guys are very tolerable. So sorry, we're getting through some crackle issues right now. So is it still crackly? Let me know. If not, I think we have to kind of move on. One sec. I'm just doing a test to see if you can hear me without the mic, and maybe it's some sort of weird outside interference. So let me know if you can hear me. You can hear the dog there whimpering again. Yeah. Okay, you couldn't hear me at that point. Okay, well, listen, what are you going to do? Well, hey, who knows? Crazy world. So the crackle is, okay. So folks, we're going to just jump into the meditation, even though my voice is a little crackly, a little rough voice, never hurt anybody. So folks, we're going to meditate for about 25 minutes. If you've never meditated for that long, listen, I believe in you. We're going to give you the tools so you can make it. Our timing will be, we'll meditate for about 25 minutes, and then we will have a discussion. What happened in your meditation, and what's going on in life. You'll notice the day our camera got fixed is the day our microphone sort of conks out. We finally got our camera fixed. I think I almost look a little too sharp, a little weird. Okay, folks. So finding a nice comfortable position that you can maintain for the duration of the sit. You'll have impulses to move the body, to adjust the body, to scratch that itch. We're just going to ignore those, because training the mind to ignore those impulses means that we also train the mind to ignore the impulse to become distracted. So finding that nice comfortable position, and we'll begin. Oops, one moment. Just one moment, folks. It does this sometimes. It says that my SIM card is invalid. Well, I don't believe in astrology, but maybe I should. Maybe Mercury's in retrograde. I don't know what that means. Is it true that retrograde is actually just a visual effect? It has nothing to do with actually the position of the planet? Is that how that works? Anyway, we're having a bunch of technical problems. I know that much. What do you used to do with Nintendo cartridges? Then put them in. Didn't work. Typical. Okay, so it's gonna be wacky. I'm gonna just make up the meditation this time, because since we don't have to record it, and the recording itself is gonna be a little choppy, we'll just do some fun stuff. So finding that nice comfortable position, and when you're ready, just gently closing the eyes. Beginning by taking a few comfortable deep breaths and just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we arrive at a meditation, we arrive at the momentum of all of the previous moments. So, detecting what we're experiencing right now as the collection of all of the previous moments. This is the expression of many, many, many factors, many causes that are creating an effect. The effect is this current moment. So we begin by sweeping through the body to be sure we're not holding any undue tension. So starting at the top of the head, relax the brow, relax the eyes, allow the face to go smooth. Relax the back of the tongue and let the jaw go slack. Relax the neck and the shoulders. And the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, and relaxing the hands. Letting go of any attempt to control the breath, letting the body breathe as it will. Noticing the natural tightening and relaxing of the upper chest and upper back as the breath comes and goes. Relaxing the belly and the lower back. Relaxing the hips and the upper legs. The knees and calves. Relaxing the ankles and relaxing the feet. And simply tuning into all of the body sensations all together. Not looking for any particular one, but trying to gather them all as one big pool of material. The mind will be pulled by many things, so we just simply return back to this collected pool of body sensation. We'll see about letting go of our sense of an edge of a body. So the mind will typically say this is where the edge of the body is. So if we simply feel all of the sensations of the body together, and in a way allow them to not be held in the usual shape of a body. Just let them be sensations. Noticing when the mind shows us the edge of the body, it'll say the body's edge is here or there. Just noticing that as a activation of the mind. And coming back to the sensations. Noticing that the sensations don't have such a distinct shape as the body. They're a bit messier than that. Notice that the mind also tends to organize our experience in terms of it being all surrounding this self that occurs in the middle, maybe in the middle of our chest or our head. But it's as though the world were surrounding this self. And of course the world is everywhere. It's not surrounding any particular thing. So just noticing the way the mind tells us the world surrounds us. And simply knowing that it's not quite that simple. It's a bit messier than that. And we're observing all of this from a kind of zoomed out position. Not laser point focus, but a large collection of material. Noticing that over and over again, the mind will show you some kind of edge or border. You'll hear a sound and the mind will snap to that sound, and we just let that sound bleed into the larger experience of all of the senses. These edges and borders aren't bad. They're not good. They're simply the mind producing edges and borders. We're simply observing and allowing them to dissolve. And notice we get distracted at times. This is also natural. Just the nature of a human body-mind to wander around like a puppy, distracted by this and that. And like a puppy, we gently reward it when it connects with what we'd like it to, and when it does something we aren't so interested in, we're kind, no big deal. So for this process, we're simply going to observe edges and what we'll call open, a larger collection of material, awareness and attention zipping back and forth. If we notice an edge, simply noticing that within the context of all of the other material, and the tightness of that edge, the sharpness of that edge will then simply expand, melt into the larger field of material. And if we find ourselves connected with this larger field of awareness, holding all this material, just enjoying that. When we notice an edge in the mind, we can say the word edge. collection, we can call that all. So at any point, we're either connected with the edge or with all. And just simply playing this very simple game. When distraction arises, in that moment, simply noticing, was it a kind of edge distraction? Or are we lost in a particular specific thought? Or was it a kind of spacious, open distraction? Either one is fine. Just noticing our mind dance, moving comfortably between these two, and noticing the way this large awareness will gobble up any and all edges. That's its nature. And we can even have fun with this, finding some kind of edge. Maybe it's the sense of the body or some sound, and opening up the awareness around it just to watch it kind of melt into this larger sphere of material. This larger awareness tends to kind of vaporize edges. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, but just noticing that there is a relationship between the edge and this large awareness. I'm going to make a slight change. We've been cultivating this relationship with this large open awareness on the edges of detailed experience. What I'd like you to do is pick one part of the body and slowly allow it to adjust itself. Where does it want to move to be more comfortable? And notice that as that occurs, the mind will grab that sensory material and show us a much more distinct edge. It'll make those particular sensations seem like they're at the center of the world, our world. And staying with the practice, I'd like you to make any physical adjustments slowly that you'd like to. Adjust the body to be comfortable, still keeping the eyes closed. Noticing this relationship between sharp detail and this large open awareness. And notice that this is quite ordinary for the mind to dance between these two different forms of detecting sensation. And as we sit here and observe, allow the body to just slowly move just slightly. Noticing the little bits of information that the mind will use to create a solid sense of the body. And notice that in between these little bits of information is empty space, at least as far as we can perceive. And simply allowing the body to just slowly continue to move. Just being in slight and continuous perpetual motion. Doesn't need to be a lot. We want to keep the exploration of the zoomed out large awareness and the detailed attention and the way these expand and contract, dance together. And you can slowly allow the body just gently stretch if it needs to. Again, just moving slowly. The key is to observe this relationship more than anything else. Simply notice this dance of perception, areas that are more open and spacious, and parts that are seemingly more solid, have more detail. And notice that these positions are continuously moving. The thing that has higher resolution, and the higher resolution area melts away. And there's another high resolution area. So even the sense of solidity isn't continuous. And staying with this practice, bringing awareness to the visual experience of closed eyes, noticing the spacious darkness. Notice as you add a tiny bit of light, it's still relatively spacious and soft. As you slowly begin to open the eyelids, eventually allowing the eyes to rest on one point, everything becomes much more sharp. And you can notice the detail of the point that the eyes are resting on. Or you can notice the entire visual field, everything that can be seen by your eyes at this moment all together. Noticing which feels more restful, gentle, which feels more detailed, and simply observing this relationship. And letting this moment of transition be the great teacher. This is how we learn to bring this practice into our daily lives, through slow movement, through practicing with our eyes open, and in this way learning to practice in every part of our life. Okay. What was that like? What happened? And what do you like now? Okay. So let me know in the chat what that experience was like. Any challenges, any confusion, any fun? And yeah, we'll go from there. I myself currently feel very soft and spacious. That's not always the effect of meditation, but in this case, it is for me. Landon says, enjoyed exploring edges and borders in relationship to open space, spatial awareness. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. I too Had a very fun time. That was a delight. And yeah, just having fun with that, the way the mind constantly does that. We usually don't notice that it's doing that at any given point. It simply sort of, you know, just is distracted and running from one thing to another. But that relationship is really delightful, and it actually can feel very relieving when we know how to use either part, because we tend to point towards, everything should, we think about like, I want to be focused, but there's a huge amount of freedom to actually allowing awareness to be large and not needing to hold a tight self that's, managing everything. There's something really relieving about that. A few questions could go into Discord, but happy to wait for others to report. Feel free. If there's too few reports, we'll happily just, slide into the soft embrace of the weekend before we come back here. Oh yeah, I have to reopen the, let's see, the Discord because I closed it for audio reasons. Okay, we are back. If anyone wants to jump into that waiting room, that will give us a chance. Oops. My sock is wet because as soon as we started the movement, I knocked over this giant full container of water. This is like giant. And as I moved, it went and spilled all out. That was sort of funny. But yes, not the first time that's happened on the stream. So if anyone wants to chat, I see Landon is coming to visit. Let's see here. Make sure the system audio is on. So Landon, if you want to jump in, feel free to jump into the, I don't know if I can drag you from here. No, I can't. You'd have to jump into the voice waiting room and then I can jump you over from there. Lovely. So what else is going on, folks? No pressure. I think, Landon, you were sliding in that direction, but if not, no, there's no pressure. Yeah. Cool. Okay, folks, so if that's the case, then we will... Oh, but Landon, you did say you had a few questions, so let me know. Looks like it's a quiet day, so happy to answer any questions I can. I think there's a larger lag today than usual. It's like long waiting periods. Okay, no pressure though. Okay, so great, folks. So what we'll do then is we'll slide away into the fun embrace of the weekend and know that we'll be back here in, I think it's less than 72 hours. That's great. I don't know if folks got to see the puppy yet. If you haven't seen the puppy, I think it's currently asleep, but I think next... Oh, you're in Discord. So, Landon, if you're in Discord, what I would suggest is go into the voice waiting room. It's one of the voice channels down below, and then I can pull you into the audio section. And it looks like Patrick is here too. I don't know if Patrick's here visiting, but yeah, feel free to jump in anytime. Let me know if there's a technical problem. You're in there. You're in the waiting room. Maybe I can't see you because for some reason... Oh, there you are. Okay, here you go. I'm putting you into the voice question area. We'll see if it works. Hopefully it does. And just to mention that, make sure to mute your stream and just listen through Discord so it doesn't echo. And okay. Make sure to mute your stream. Hello, Landon. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you perfectly. Let's see if the stream can hear us. Stream,
okay.
Can you hear Landon? Just want to make sure that everyone can hear each other. We'll find out in a moment.
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Wow, I can't believe it's working.
Wow.
So, okay, and just curious, Landon, do I sound crackly on the Discord?
Not at all. You sound really clear.
That's so funny.
And
okay.
Resonant.
Well, there you go. So okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's your question?
Yeah. So I actually have two questions, and if we can set them aside if there's not time to go into both of them, they might be pretty quick. First of all, I just really enjoyed toggling that. was sort of a rusty on edges and borders, but once the practice went on, it's like, oh, right, I know what this is. And I like toggling. That's just to feel the awareness kind of toggling back and forth, and then just kind of could just be with that and not have it
Hmm.
seem so like border
Hmm.
awareness, edge awareness. No, it was sort of like, oh, this can kind of merge together in awareness in a way.
Hmm.
I that was really that's a good experience. I can appreciate how that could be a really good practice, and just I liked it. I mean, it's just so interesting.
Yeah.
But my questions were, so in open aware, two things that I have questions about. One is about open awareness practice, and I've noticed lately that when I've been practicing sort of in that more spacious way, it can seem very like there's tranquility.
Hmm.
It's sort of, it's pretty stable, but if it's not, it seems to come back and just sort of waiting there. And then, my practices during the one weekdays, maybe 20 to 30 minutes, somewhere in there, kind of depending, sometimes really solid, sometimes a little bit interrupted by just life. But in any case, I notice it towards the end, there's a lot of audio that starts coming in. And I've just noticed it a couple of times. I thought, when I'm doing open awareness, I feel like I'm not trying really hard. I feel
Hmm.
like it's kind of a relaxed,
And
just a
do
relaxed
you mean
open
mental
awareness.
audio is coming in?
Mental audio.
Got it.
And it gets, and I think, oh, is it because I'm getting tired? The energy's getting tired. And so then the voices, the inner audio comes. But I'm not really aware that I'm exerting, that I'm really like trying, quote unquote, trying hard. I
Hmm.
feel like I'm not, I think, because inner audio gets, just get lost in thought a little bit more towards the end.
Hmm.
And I wonder if I'm getting tired. And if I wasn't getting tired, I could, maybe there's a way to adjust the practice so that, I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's just cyclical. And if I continued like for an hour, that would just fade away. And then, maybe it's like every 20 minutes or so, I'm going to have a lot of internal audio. I don't know lately. I haven't
Yeah.
been practicing for an hour lately. So, anyway,
Well, yeah. What I would just say,
curious.
yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Were you?
No, no,
Okay.
that's a complete. I think I said all I needed to say about it.
What I would just say is that right now, this is the experience that you're having. I know that sounds like a very sort of simplistic answer, but at this point, at 20 minutes of meditation around open awareness, mental audio starts to occur. And you can use the technique that we use today, which is to notice the edge, the sharpness of that, and just detect that in the larger experience um, of awareness. And when you said that you were getting tired, did you mean that you were getting sleepy or that you were getting sort of exhausted, overexerted? Because
Yeah,
you were saying it's
well,
relaxing, so I wasn't sure if you meant sleepy.
yeah, no, that's what I mean is that I think it's almost like I don't feel tired. I don't feel like I'm not, but it's like I analyze it and think, is it because this burst of getting lost in thought or internal audio, is that telling me that I'm tired, even though I don't feel tired?
Hmm.
Awareness doesn't feel tired. It's sort of, I think it's a combination of, oh, I shouldn't be having all this internal audio if I'm really practicing open awareness because it had really quieted down
Right.
and then it sort of bursts up again. And I think maybe I was suppressing it. I wasn't aware that I was suppressing it. And now I realize, and then I think, am I overthinking this?
Well, overthinking is a different question, but just it's the mind thinking. That's one of the things about our practice. It doesn't matter what's happening. You just say this is what's happening, and you label it
Yeah.
and observe it. And there's different ways of observing it. We were talking about that in the class just recently, but yeah, you can observe it in terms of cause and effect. You can observe it in terms of rest or non-rest. You can, many ways you can observe it. But what I'd suggest is, and I mentioned this on the last call, whatever the wall feels like. It feels like, okay, this
Right.
is a
I was
wall.
remembering that conversation when you were just talking, whatever the wall is, and now,
And let that not only
yeah,
just be like it's fine like it is. Usually we can kind of have this tolerant attitude, which I feel like tolerance is sort of weirdly violent. Um,
yeah,
that we have a recognition that it is the skeleton key. It is the answer. It is the thing that will unlock the experience, rather than it being a thing we need to get rid of or get out of the way. It is the answer. And sometimes I can say like, how is this the answer? And it is the answer just in being itself. It is being itself, and that's all we really need to know is, okay, this is the thing being itself. As long as you're not actually getting sleepy or foggy or unconscious, you're still very validly exploring. I think that's great.
It's cool, yeah. So that was my question. Like the skeleton key is really the tolerance of this is what's happening now.
Well,
Um,
the skeleton key is just whatever is happening.
yeah,
No, we don't, and
yeah,
it's like we don't need to tolerate like, oh, this thing is, it's here, but one day I'll be able to get rid of it and have no mental audio. It's just happening, and that's natural. And you can look
yeah,
at the part of yourself if there, it sounds like there's some part of you that's like, this shouldn't be happening, which is basically
yeah,
another way of saying this isn't nature. Whereas it's just nature. It's the nature of the mind to chat sometimes and to be
yeah,
open sometimes. And so just to watch whatever that nature is at this particular moment.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's. I mean, I don't know. It's always sort of after the meditation that I'm thinking, and it's kind of conditioning, sort
Mm,
of that. Oh, wait. Is my practice slipping? Am I da da da? And it's like, no. I mean, it's just sort of this little echo conditioning because I think of just, I don't know,
hmm
perfectionism or something. And it's inner audio is just there. It
hmm
happens. Of course it happens. It's natural. It's good. I think just some reassurance is very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Go
And
ahead.
thank you. One other very quick question, sort
Sure.
of unrelated. I have a traditional sangha that I sit with, and it's just so interesting to me. It's just kind of a larger question I'm playing with. There's just no emphasis, or just like for a really long time. And I love this group. There's so many good things about it, but there's never any interest in people reporting on their experiences in meditation.
hmm
It's just surprising to me. I just don't understand. I mean, years go by, and I'll hear someone say, I've been meditating for 8 years and I still don't really know what I'm doing, and I
Yeah.
just think, wow, it's
I
just
know it
interesting.
kills me a little. I'm just like, ugh. And typically it's just and to some degree, a generational thing where people don't know how to have sensory clarity. They don't know actually what's happening for them in any particular moment. And so then they don't know they should report it. And no one indicates that they might want to report it or they might want to say what's happening perceptually. And so they just,
There's no context for people reporting, so
yep,
you learn from reporting.
yep. And did you say you teach some of this material as well?
Too, just within that sangha, I lead like little Dharma study groups when people are particularly interested, for example, in the Satipatthana Sutta
Mm-hmm.
or awakening factors, and that's been really interesting because people actually are in the course of these smaller groups,
Mm-hmm.
not the large sangha, but talking about what their experience is in practice on
Yep.
the cushion, but also just in their lives, and
Yep.
they're getting the opportunity to do that, and yet in the context of the Dharma,
Yeah.
which is really kind of it's. I just love it. I like it so much more.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I think that in the past, we didn't really know how to discuss our psychological experience. If you think about like 50 years ago or something, if you were standing around at work and you said, "Oh, this person really reminds me of my mother. They drive me crazy," right? Someone would be like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
You were so weird.
yeah, it's
Why
like
did you say that
witchcraft.
about a
Like,
water
why
cooler?
would that have any? Why would someone who that reminds you of your mother be? What do you mean? Like, there wouldn't just wouldn't be part of the dialogue. Today, it's just like,
Talk about your mother.
yeah, today it's just like, of course, like, yeah, of course family members are going to remind you of people and trigger you. That's like normal. And we're at a place now where people just don't know how to describe their sensory experience of any particular moment. So people are kind of lost internally. There's no like sense of cataloging. Okay, well, there's this much mental image, this much mental audio. There's an emotional experience like this, and it was clinging to something else, and it created this sense of fear when this person came up. All of that material is just people don't know how to talk about it. So that's part of our mission is to get people able to and interested in talking about what's happening for them internally and realizing that if you can fall in love with your senses, then you can fall in love with every experience of the world. So yeah,
Thank you. I
yeah,
really
thank you
appreciate it.
so much.
And have fun with your puppy. I
Oh
know puppies they're so adorable, and it is like having a newborn in the house.
yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's really fun, really fun.
I bet it is. Or she or he.
She, Sila, yeah,
God, talk about positive affect rising up. I just
yeah.
see her. So cute. So thank you for sharing her.
Yeah, really cute. I want to bring her on stream more and more, but she's like right now it's like has to be in the pen now and has to be it's very sort of
Yeah.
controlled. But I think next stream on Monday we'll bring her out so we can play a little bit. Awesome. Okay, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining. We are very excited to, Landon, I'm going to put you in the other area so you can unmute. Thank you so much. Let's see. We're going to be back here very soon. If anyone has any other questions, just let me know. We'll be back in, I think, 72 hours. And in the meantime, it's great to see everyone. Look forward to seeing everyone soon. And please let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. All right, we're going to put this outro music on, and I'm pretty sure if everything's going well, I'll still be able to hear you. Even though the outro... Oh, look, I did a new design here. Let's see if this works. There we go. I'm up in the corner. I don't know if I'm visible or moving or just a still image. But thank you, everyone, for joining. Some of the new folks here, feel free to follow. Well, you'll know when we're going live. And looks like this image in the upper corner is just fully not working. Let's see if we can bump that up. No, it's a dead image. That's a dead image too. What the heck? I don't know. Crazy world, man. I don't know. I just disappeared, but good to see everyone. Great to have you. Glad you're here. Thank you for meditating. We're excited to see you all very soon. Have fun. Have a great weekend wherever you are in this world. As always, lovely to see you. I'm going to go dance with my puppy and have a good time. Thanks, folks. Look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, have a